here after they're done with that. So they go through the system. And the system gets some booked. Let me show you what we got going on here.
So I'm not seeing your screen just in case you thought you were sharing it.
I didn't.
No, okay, all right.
Let's see. Screen share. There we go. Gage Davis is he's someone who is, well, essentially what's happening is they go through, they get a few different reminders. They get one text message that says, hey, here's a video you should watch before we do this. They get another one that says, by the way, just curious, what made you interested in what we're doing here? And so those are the things that they have kind of happening. It's funny because one of the applicants hopped off and then Mr. Hastings hopped on. And, oh, you know why the applicant hopped off? I'm going to stop recording.
Recording stopped.
It's threatening to some people. So he jumped in and jumped out because it said recording. Anyway, so the idea is that we bring him in through leads, and then from that space, we're booking him into a time. We have found that out of we normally have about 50 applicants, which for some reason, Ryan, they're all concentrated tomorrow. Isn't that weird? How we have so we have double the amount of people tomorrow as opposed to normally this is our most popular time, and right now it's not. Familia Nava. I don't know if that's probably an applicant. Anyway, so they get reminded a few times. They book an appointment. They get a video. Hey, please watch this video. It's just Ryan going through the overview. Essentially, he's just doing a BOM. Why'd she hop off? That's weird. Did anyone see anything weird when you hopped onto the screen today? Nothing? So I've had two. Okay, there we go.
Well, it's not
there
too
we go.
either, so they might.
That's what. Yeah. Okay. Message.
Is that Kelly Plantation Club champion T-shirt, golf shirt? Does it in underneath it?
All right, Ryan. We're about to. We're just going to get started. It's 3:00, so we're just going to let these people in, and then for right now, applicants. Okay. And then that way it doesn't seem weird to everyone. So we got 3. Oh, okay. Here we go. Hello. Is your and I'm seeing someone whose name is Familia Nava. Is that your name? Yes. Okay,
yes,
Familia. Okay, we got Familia, we've got Gage. We're going to get started in just a moment. Just wanted to lay down the ground rules for you guys right now. This is just us getting a chance to know each other. This is what we call this is a business overview interview. And so if you guys like us, if any of you guys like us and it feels like it's time, it feels like it's worth taking a step into, what we'll do is we'll take it offline to do a little bit more of a one-on-one type of a scenario. But what we're doing here is this is a group overview. So I'm Donnie Tuttle, and with me is the Family First Life United Agency owner, Ryan Montalto. He's the guy, good-looking dude in the purple. And so we're going to give you the same rules that we have here. So cameras on, and you can mute your microphone or whatever. But we will be asking questions, and the whole thing is really we want to answer the questions you might have. We'll leave space open for questions, and the reality is that in what we're doing, most people are actually not a fit, and that's okay. So if we end up at the end of this and it's not a fit for you, that's okay. We're not everyone's cup of tea. And so what our goal is today is to really just help you to step closer. So I'm gonna let this person in. That'll be the last person I let in. So the goal is to help you to step closer into what it is that you want to do for your family. So if you're here on the overview interview, I'm sure you have a reason. Maybe it's you're looking for a career. You might be looking to get your time back. Maybe you're looking to do something different for your family. And so we're going to break down our opportunity as it is, and we're going to lay it just completely bare. And if at any point you hear something that just doesn't jive with you, it's okay. for you to leave. That's totally fine. This is, again, no one's committed yet. We're just seeing if we're fit for you and you're a fit for us. So if you feel like it's not a fit, it's okay to hop off. That's totally fine. If at the end of this you do feel like it's a fit, of course, we want to have a further conversation with you one-on-one. But let's keep our cameras on. Let's stay engaged through the whole process. It'll take us about 30 minutes. And we're going to take it away. Let me tell you real quickly what the position is and what it is that we're looking for. So that way, if any of this isn't a fit, you can either ask questions or we can maybe end it here for somebody to go. What we're looking for is someone who is highly motivated, who wants to grow a business by serving others. So earning a lot of money by serving others. The position is not a W-2 position, meaning it's not a job. You're not going to, you're not required to work 40 hours a week. It is full commission, which means that you get commissioned on what it is that you sell and nothing else. So we have no hourly wage. What our job is, what our goal is to do is to help you to build what Ryan Montalto has done. So Ryan, and I'll bring him up here in a second. Ryan recently sold his insurance agency that he started from scratch, not knowing anything. I'll let him share his story. He's selling it. I think it's going to be somewhere around the neighborhood of $30 million. And so the goal is that Ryan and myself, our goal is we want to mentor someone to be able to do something in the likeness of what Ryan has done. Okay, I'm a productivity coach. That's what I do. I'll let you know a little bit of my story in a second. Ryan is someone who knows how to help people succeed in the world of insurance. So if that's something that you're still on, so most of us are still on, that's good. We'll touch a few more hot buttons as well. If anything raises a red flag, if you have any questions, feel free to just jump in. If you don't want to interrupt, you can put it in the chat box and we'll answer it that way. So Ryan, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about the people that you help to crush it.
I appreciate it, Donnie. Thank you. A little bit about myself, guys. I'm married. I have 3 children. Before I got into life insurance, I didn't own life insurance, knew nothing about life insurance. Never really thought that in a million years, I'd be in the business of life insurance. I grew up in the restaurant. When I was 23 and when I left Auburn University, I opened my own restaurant. When I was very young, I borrowed $500,000. I thought I was going to be in the restaurant business forever. As I was working, when I started off, working 80, 90 hours a week, 6 to 7 days a week was fun. It was great. It was exhilarating. I was used to making 6 figures, about $120,000 a year. But as I got older, that 120 really only became about 130, maybe 140 if it was a good year and I stole enough money from the till. But what was ended up happening is I was still working the 80, 90 hours a week. If the dishwasher called in sick, I was the head dishwasher that night. The bartender needed to go home. I ended up bartending. If the hostess didn't make it to work that day, I was the hostess. So what was happening is I was everybody's sick day off, and whatever else excuses they could come up with. I was picking those days off, and I wasn't having the time I wanted with my family. I'm a firm believer in time plus money equals happiness. If you're sitting at home and you're, turning off the lights, not running the air conditioner, you're making sure that you can make, living paycheck to paycheck, making sure you can make those bills and those payments, but you're doing everything, that's not living to me. And it's the same difference if you're making all the money in the world, but you're missing, like I was, Little League, I was missing, dance recitals, singing classes, this and that, the things that I thought were important to not just me, but also to my family. I don't think that's living either if you're missing those things to make enough money. So what I was looking for was something that could get me to that time plus money equals happiness. Have enough money and enough time that where I could do the things that I want to do with my family, with my friends, and if you have a hobby, to do some of those things too. When I was approached about life insurance when Family First Life first opened. I did not take the job or the position the first time. You're going to hear a lot of numbers today. They're going to sound pretty unrealistic. I was one of the same people that thought it was unrealistic. I thought it was BS. people were talking about $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 a year. Honestly, I thought only people that did that went to school for about a decade or 2 decades. They were doctors, they were lawyers. Maybe your CPA is making that kind of money. I did not believe you could do that in life insurance. So I passed on the opportunity. 9 months later, the same individuals came to me, talked about life insurance again. They had to show me that they were making that money. I was showed a bank account that had over 200,000 in it. I quit my job that day. When I say job, I own the restaurant. I turned in the keys. My dad was my partner. I turned in the keys, and then I went and got a license within 5 days. I got into class on a Monday, and then sat for the test that Saturday. Again, just barely passed. All you have to do is make a 70. If you make it a 71, just 1% smarter than I needed you to be to pass the test. But I just passed the test, got the license, and I'm going to tell you guys, I struggled. The first 90 days was not easy. I didn't know anything about life insurance. I didn't own life insurance. I was selling something I didn't own. At the beginning, I don't even know if I believed in it because I just didn't know enough about it. But what I did understand is that the system that Family First Life put together, I struggled those first 90 days, but from 90 days to 9 months, I got a little bit better. The system that they put together, if you can follow a system and you're very coachable, this is not easy, but this will take a lot of that burden and a lot of that anxiety off of you. I followed the FFL system to a T. The guys who were teaching me, the guys that were showing me, I wasn't trying to reinvent the wheel. I was just trying to roll the wheel they were giving. Once I started rolling that wheel and I got a little bit better, the money started coming in. I started seeing some of those, $15,000 months, $20,000 months, and then they just kept snowballing there. I mean, and really, Donnie, the first apex, of my business at Family First Life is when I knew what I was doing this for. When I knew I wasn't doing it selfishly to make sure I was making all the money and just making sure that my family was only making the money. When I knew we were actually out there helping people and I was able to deliver that life check, that was one of the times, and it came 9 months into my career here, but that helped me to where I knew we were actually out there helping families. We were actually out there making a difference. Insurance is real. It changes people's lives. So once that started going and I started working for the clients, I got better at sales. Not only that, when I knew my time was more valuable than sitting in front of people that did not want to help and did not want me to sell them life insurance, I only helped the people that needed the help or wanted the help. That also changed my career. And then basically when I started hiring other people, one of them is going to be my brother. When I knew not only am I changing my family, but I'm changing other people's families' lives and getting people, I've hired people that used to be play guitar till midnight to 2 o'clock in the morning. We were able to change something in his life. He was able to get into life insurance, and he's being able to do stuff that he thought he may not be able to do. But what I knew is I did that within the short 6 years. I was able to build, because at Family First Life, that blueprint that we're going to help you with, that we're going to show you, if you can follow it, you can have success if you're able to. And you're able to work hard. There are going to be some sacrifices at the beginning. You are not going to be good at this. If you think you're going to come out the gate and be great, God, I hope you are. But I'm going to tell you, you're in a 1% rare air there. But here again, if you can get through the anxiety, if you can get through the adversity and get to the other side and know that we're just helping families and only collect the wins, this might be the position for you. I'm not looking for part-time. I'm really not looking for people that don't have the money, that don't want to invest in themselves. If this is something that's not you, you can go ahead and you can hang up today. I'm looking for people that want to start, not a job. I'm looking for people that want a career, because you are going to own this business from day one. I'm going to teach you guys how to own a business. Not only that, but to treat it like a business day one, and then it's going to pay you like a business day one. And then maybe 5, 6, 7 years down the road, because you do own your business, you'll be able to sell it for a multi-million-dollar deal like I did. Does that make sense, Donnie?
Yeah, man. Real quick, let's bring it in. I want to know who you are and where you're at. So if you could tell me 3 things I want to hear your name. So you're about to go ahead and unmute. I want to hear your name. I want to know if you're licensed or not. And I want to know what state you're in. So we'll start. I'm going to start up on the top of what my left is. Brian. Oh,
Yeah.
let me start with me. Let me. So I'm Donnie Tuttle. I live in St. Augustine Beach, Florida. I am licensed to sell insurance, life insurance in Florida. Sorry. Now, Brian.
Okay. Brian Fauché. I am also licensed, and I'm in Oviedo, Florida.
Another Florida person. Scott.
Yes, I'm Scott Rhodes. I do have my license for about 1 year now, and I'm in South Carolina, near Greenville, South Carolina.
Greenville. Nice area.
We got
Amelia. By the way, guys, if you need to unmute, it's on the bottom left. Familia, we'll come back to you. We'll go with Gage. Bottom left is the unmute button.
The big microphone, the red one.
Yeah, big red microphone. Himeta, let's go with you. How about that? I think that's how hopefully I said your name right.
Jametta.
Jametta. Oh, of course.
Yeah, I am licensed and I'm in Colorado.
Colorado. Which part?
Aurora.
Aurora. Okay, cool deal. Kyle.
I am licensed and I'm in Florida, Pensacola, Florida.
Pensacola. Okay. Okay, Familia. We're going to try Familia in a second. Engage. Again, we'll give you another shot here. Let's try to wrestle down some technology.
Gage got it yet? He keeps hitting the
Gage
button.
or Familia, whoever's first to get it open. Let's see. It's a race. It's a foot race. There we go. Familia's on. Go.
There we go.
Hi, I'm Veronica. I live in Phoenix,
Veronica.
Arizona, and I'm not licensed.
Okay, Veronica. Let's be the family Zoom. All right.
Yes, thank you.
Cool. And then looks like we lost someone trying to work with technology. Totally fine. Here is the let me get into, guys, what it is that you'll be doing, because again, some of this is going to sound great to some people, and some people they're like, nope, not me. This is a people position, and what you'll be doing, and I'll talk about the kind of people that it works for. But what you'll be doing is you'll be purchasing leads, you'll be calling those leads, setting appointments, driving to someone's, I think that guy just tried to get back on, driving to someone's house, sitting down with them face to face and actually selling them life insurance policies. Usually we sign them up on a smart device or iPad or a laptop. And then we walk out with a decision by the actual insurance carrier, which will deposit in your bank within 24 to 72 hours in terms of your commission. So that is a position. It's face to face. There's some driving. There's some dialing. It's a matter of fact, it's heavy towards those things. And okay, we still have people here. So I'm just going to keep going. The people this tends to work for are people who are, I would say, money motivated, because we have a very clear path to cash. Okay, people who this right here, Matt Kakasi. Ryan, you know his story a little bit better than I do. I think he's been with us about 9 months, and he will. I know his wife wanted some of the finer things, but he wanted to provide a little bit better for his family. He was tapped out with what he was doing with timeshare sales, and he came over here. And I want to say he'll be north of 500,000. He'll be making more than $500,000 before the end of the year. Is that right, Ryan?
He's going to be pretty close. Yeah, not only was he tapped out, but when COVID hit, the industry he was in, they cut his pay and they cut his bonuses. So, I mean, technically he wasn't working for himself.
Yeah.
It was somebody else. And when they decide that you're worth less, they pay you less. Here, you get paid what you're worth.
We have a very clear path to cash. I'll show it to you in a second. People who believe in team. If you function with team, you will be like Dom Rogers. Dom played baseball in college. South Carolina. No, I'm sorry. Charleston. No. NC is in North Carolina. NC State, yeah. He was NC Wolfpack. He would hate me for saying that. But he was, he knew that he wasn't going to be able to go pro, but he also knew that he needed a team around him. He didn't want to do it on his own. People who function well with others do well here. Now, you have to be, batteries included kind of a person to where you're an engaged entrepreneurial type, but having input from people around you is the ultimate accelerator. And so I'll show you about how we do that in a second, but team motivated people do well here. This is Brandon, and Ryan's brother. Brandon. One of the times when Ryan was able to make a big change was when he could change the life of his brother and bring him in. And Brandon is Mr. Fun, Mr. Time, and we find that people who desire to get their time back and be in control of their time do well here. And finally, I would say that the final group is people who they love helping people. So this is Mike Killamet. He is the I always say he's like the millionaire that doesn't know he's a millionaire. Just salt of the earth, help anyone, help everyone. Super nice guy. But this whole reason, one of the big reasons he actually jumped into this whole game was because he knew that he could help anyone and everyone because of all carriers. Now, we are not captive. That means that you're not just stuck in one company selling one product. Nope. We shop all of the top products that are out there from the top carriers. So we actually contract you with all the top rated life insurance carriers, which means for you, and it meant for him, you can write a life insurance policy for anyone from birth to age 90, whether they're healthy or not. Doesn't matter if they have HIV, doesn't matter, cancer, heart, like we know that we can serve people. And so that was a big deal for Mike Killamet. Ryan, I like to look at the path to cash. Quick raise of hands. Can you guys raise your hand if you've actually, you are in sales or you've been in sales? Real quick, let me see your hands. Hands up. Cool. So one of the problems with sales, if you've lived in that world, is it's almost like they try to hide how you get paid. And to me, that's like, confused person doesn't do anything, or it's just really hard. And I think the people, the ownership of Family First Life knew what they're doing when they put together a simplified path to cash. And so we're not hiding it under, some rock somewhere. It's very simple. We have multiple streams of income, and actually get to tap into 3 of the 4 within your first 90 days. And Ryan, can we break down? You're a money man. Can you break down a little bit about how this would work and maybe commission structures and what someone who's just starting could expect? I'm sure I would have that question.
Yeah, 100%. The reason why we start with these 4 streams is because you always hear the old saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Well, if you're a W-2 or you're working for somebody and you only have one stream of income, whatever they're paying you, that's putting all your eggs in one basket. Here at Family First Life, the blueprint and the structure here allows you not only just to own your own business day one, but it is also going to allow you to turn on multiple spigots, multiple streams of income. And like Donnie said, 3 of them we can turn on in the first 90 days. That first one is going to be personal production. I'm a firm believer you're going to have to personally produce in order to do well here at Family First Life. I'm a firm believer you have to be out there making money with people and not off them. Our commission structure starts at 90% and goes all the way to 145%. We're going to start all of our agents off at 110% contract. I'm a firm believer if you're going to run your own business, you need to start at this 110% contract in order to get going. How that works, and let me tell you, so if you sold an $83 a month policy and you multiply that by 12 months, then you're going to come to $1,000 in annualized premium. Our average sale is about an $83 a month policy. You multiply that by 12 months, comes out to $1,000 annualized premium. If you're starting at 110% contract, you're going to go ahead and multiply that annualized premium, $1,000, by 1.10. So Kyle, if I multiply 1,000 by 1.10, what does that get me?
$1,100.
$1,100. So $1,100 on an $83 a month policy is going to be your commissions. They're going to advance you 75%. Donnie talked earlier that we get paid within a 24 to 72 hour period. We're going to get paid directly from the carriers. This is simple issue life insurance, which means all you have to do is answer anywhere from about 3 to 10 questions. And then they're going to check their meds and check their medical records and make sure they told the truth. But it's a pass or fail. There's no blood, no urine. And you're going to make sure before you leave, you'll know if this is a client and you've helped them or you have not been able to find something for them. But it's a pass fail. You'll know if they're clients, which is great. On the simple issue is the reason why we do that is because when you do leave, They know they have coverage from the minute you leave, but also that you get paid within that 24, 72 hours directly from the carrier. They're going to advance you 75% of that $1,100. 75 of that $1,100 is going to be $850. That's what they're going to deposit within that 24 to 72 hour period. And then when renewals are coming on months 10, 11, 12 is when it starts. They're going to pay you that other 25% trail that they owe you of that $1,100. So they're going to pay you that other $250 on months 10, 11, and 12. And because you own your book of business here at Family First Life and you own your renewals day one, which means you're vested day one with your renewals, not 3 years, not 5, not 10, but day one on the anniversary of all your whole life and IUL policies, you're going to make what they call a renewal. That renewal is anywhere from about 3 to 6%. So let's average it at about 5%. So on that $1,100, if you multiplied it by 5%, that means you're going to get a $55 renewal the next year if that policy is still in place. If you sold 20 of those policies the year before, in that same month, and all 20 stay on, that means you're going to make $1,100 without ever selling a policy just from the year before. This is how agents make multiple six-figure income without ever selling a policy. Because you own your book of business, because you own your renewals, you're able to make money, and it's called a passive income. This is one of the 4 streams. The next income is team building. If you decide to help a team out or help somebody out, like when I hired my brother, if I was at 110% contract and I hired my brother at 100% contract, that means we have a 10-point spread. And
slide, Ryan, or because I know I need to get that over here. Do you have that one? I know that the team building slide. I think you have a really nice slide that shows that.
You want me to share it?
Yeah, I think it's pretty nice. By the way, you guys, before never mind. I was going to say, feel free to take pictures of any of the things you see on screen. And also, a lot of people typically have questions here, so feel free.
This is the team building right here. To me, this is not 900 or 90 people. This is a 9-person team on how you can make $500,000. Let's say you're at 120% and you wrote $20,000 worth of business. You multiply that 20,000 by 1.20, and that gives you 24,000 that you get to deposit. This is monthly. This is not annually. This is not biweekly. This is monthly. You're going to put $24,000 in your bank account. If you hire John at 110%, Brian, what's the difference between John's contract level and your contract level here at 120?
If he comes in at 100, it's 20%.
Nope, he's at 110.
110, 10%.
Yep. And then John hires 3 agents underneath him. So John plus his 3 agents makes $75,000 in issue paid volume. What's 10% of 75,000?
7,500.
You're going to put $7,500 into your bank account. Same thing here, Brian. Sue's at 100% contract. You're at 120. What's the difference between you and Sue's contract level?
20%.
Correct. Sue has 2 other agents. So Sue plus 2 agents write 50,000. What's 20% of 50,000?
It'd be 10,000.
Correct, 10,000. So you put that into your bank account that month. Ben's brand new. Ben's going to get the starting contract. He needs a lot of help. At the beginning, he writes 10,000. There's a 30% difference between you and Ben. So 30% of 10,000 is going to be 3,000. When you add these all up, this comes out to 44,500 in gross income. If you multiply that by 12 years, or not 12 years, 12 months, this is how you come up to $534,500 annually. This is what I grossed the first year I started hiring. This is why this is hugely important that you team build. And what's great about this, and then really the 4th thing when you come up to it, is the bonuses. There's VP bonuses and then there's monthly bonuses. This was July. There's $2.7 million paid out in VP bonuses. If you have a team doing $150,000 or more, you're going to make at least a $2,500 bonus. And then there's monthly producer bonuses. There's $30,000 in life. If you wrote that out the first month, you could get $500. I've had agents that have written $150,000 in a month and have gotten a $6,000 bonus. You can turn personal production on because you can go out and personally produce. you can hire somebody and you can put them at a 10% spread and make money off of team building. And you can go out and if you produce $30,000 within the first 90 days, you're going to get a bonus. You can turn 3 of these incomes on, I believe, within the first 90 days. Does that make sense, Donnie?
It does. I love it. And so, Ryan, we had a question pop up. Jametta asked, are renewals paid for only the first year?
They're paid every year that they're still open. Usually they start and they'll go for either 10 years or for the life of the policy, depending on what you sold and what type of policy. But the renewals will go at least 10 years.
Love it. Any questions? I know a lot of times, especially if people are with other companies or I don't know, you're looking into this. This is one of those things that people have questions on. Like, is that clear? Is that confusing? If you sold in other companies, just kind of take those numbers, maybe plop those into these percentages. Of course, the goal is to move you up in your commission rate as you graduate through. Any no questions? Okay. Well, we will move on. I'm going to show you the. This is the reason why I'm even here, is because as I'm a productivity coach. I used to, I would say at least half of what I did with organizations was to help them to sell better. And got introduced to this company, Family First Life, about 2.5, 3 years ago. And I saw 2 things happening. Number one, I saw people hitting the ground running and getting, making $20,000 or $30,000 per month faster than any other company I'd ever seen, without degrees or like whatever. It's just boom. I'm like, how'd that happen? Well, the answer is what I'm about to show you, and it is a sales system that I felt was bulletproof. I didn't see anything that I could add to it from all of everything that I'd helped all these other companies with. I couldn't help with their sales process. Typically, when you start, Jametta has a question. Maybe Ryan, you can see that. Typically, when you start working with any company, especially in the world of insurance, they're going to like almost do it like a multi-level marketing thing, where it's like, okay, friends and family, they get their friends and family, and you're building this giant pyramid that eventually collapses, and at the very least, it's going to make Thanksgiving turkey not taste as good, because everyone's like, oh, here comes Scott. Scott's going to come and sell us insurance again, So we believe in buying leads. Absolutely, sell your warm market. Absolutely, sell your own policy. Absolutely, because you believe in what you're selling. And we have found the only way to build a predictable business is to have predictable lead flow. And so this is it's a snapshot of the CRM. I don't know what day that was, but I just took a screenshot of what it is. And this is a heat map. This heat map represents where we happen to be purchasing, or at least have availability of a bunch of leads. So what we do is we contract with lead vendors to make available to our people through our CRM 50 to 75,000 new life insurance leads every single week. Now, by a new lead, we're talking about people who responded to a form that says, I need life insurance. Here's my height, weight, birthday, health problems, beneficiary. They answer a whole slew of questions to have a stranger show up in their house and come out there and make sure that they're taken care of with life insurance. That is what we call a lead. And we help you to purchase those and to connect with those. If you're doing this is a business expense. It's something you're going to want to account for in your growth plan. Most leads, Ryan, I would say they're between $1 to $12, approximately. You're on mute if you're
about $1 to $12.
Yeah, about $1 to $12 each. And what we have found is whatever it is that you want to deposit in the bank, you need to spend 20% of that number on leads. And you can or you can't. It's up to you. You can get leads from any place that you think you can find them, and that's fine. Some people, if you want to stand on a street corner, if you find some lead source or whatever, great. We just know that we have 50 to 75,000 of these things coming in every week. And we turn that pipeline towards you. We help you to strategize, to buy the right ones, to sell the right ones, and to put together a plan. But the number that we know of is, if you want to make, basically it's 20% is our golden number. meaning if you want to deposit $10,000 in a month, you need to be spending 20% of that number on leads in a month. So let's see. I'm trying to call for a name here, but I can't see any because it's got me. There we go. Jametta, what would that number be? How much should we be investing in leads if we want to deposit $10,000? You're on mute. Start with 2. Someone else. Anyone on mute? Anyone answer the question so we can. $2,000. Yep, 2,000. If you want to make 20 grand, right? 4,000. If you want to make 50, it's really, you can just tell us like this, the number scales. Okay. And so that is something that just really creates predictability within what we have and sets people up for success. Any questions about leads? Let's see. We have access to the carriers who may have a product that is better fit for the carriers.
I can answer that one real quick.
Yeah, please.
So, I mean, we have about 15 to 20 carriers that we can go through, and we can help out anybody from age 0 to age 89, all the way from healthy to unhealthy. I'm talking people with HIV, people that are in nursing homes, Alzheimer's. Basically, if you could fog a mirror and you could touch a pen, you could get insurance with us. We help out about 90%. Now, if you have something that's better, I would definitely see if I was able to get you a higher contract, if that's something you want to do. That way you can make a little bit more money selling the same people. But to us, you're an independent agent. You can sell insurance, and it's always about the client. It's always making sure you find the best, not just the best priced product, but also the best product that fits the client's needs. So to me, if you're finding that and you somebody that we do not have, I'm totally okay with that.
Love it. Okay.
Veronica's got a question.
Veronica, yes.
I have a question. So my question is, if the leads are not local, like say it's out of the state, how does the process or getting a plan for the client works?
Where are you from, Veronica, again? I'm sorry.
Phoenix, Arizona.
There's going to be tons of leads in Phoenix, Arizona, and a surrounding outer with about an hour away from you. But also, if you want to sell in other states, once you get your Phoenix license, you get what they call a reciprocal state license. And Arizona is reciprocal with the other 49 states. So you would be able to get that other state's license. You would just have to pay an annual fee in order to sell life insurance with that reciprocal license in other states.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Cool. Love it. So if we're on at this point, it's like you understand what we're talking about. You understand the opportunity. Now I'm going to explain to you a little bit about what we do that's a little bit different. And as you look at that, just like really determine whether or not this is something that you want to press into, because with us, there's a certain group that we do work well with, and there's some people we just don't. It's just better if we know that up front, right? So we can be friends and maybe not partner together on some things if it's not a fit. Number one, you heard Ryan mention earlier that we work with people who are all in. That's not to say that you can't do insurance part-time. You certainly probably can, but the way that our program is set up, it actually requires, like there's a certain course we're taking people through. It requires full-time. Okay. I would say at the very least, it would require 3 to 4 full-time days. So if you have to work another job, we would be open-minded to that if you can be completely available for 3 to 4 days per week. So that's number one. Number two, for the benefit of you, is I would say that if you're in a need for money right now at the moment, this might not be an opportunity for you right now, because what you need is you need a paycheck, and you get that from go start a job tomorrow and you'll have a paycheck next week. With us, if you're not licensed, there's probably a time factor of 4 to 5 weeks before you'll be even potentially earning money, because there's a licensing process and a contracting process. It takes time. If you are licensed to get everything switched over, I would say we could have you probably earning money within a couple of weeks if you followed our process. but there is still a time element that's involved. For people that work well with us, we actually do ask for certain things from you. We ask you to show up. We have a training every single day. A couple of those are run by Ryan and myself. Some of those are run by other top producers on the team, but that's something we want people to commit to. There is a call structure that, we talked about being coachable earlier on. If you're not someone that is open-minded to hearing and practicing what we have found to be the best method of helping others to get out of their own way and to respond to the help that they're asking for, if you're not open-minded to scripting and dialing and setting appointments, then we probably need to move on. If you're coachable, we definitely would love to further the conversation. If you are looking for a remote scenario, I've had people even get this far sometimes, Ryan, they're like, oh, I'm doing this from home. Well, yes, and yes, you can set appointments from your home, but you're not selling like we're having this meeting here. You're gonna be face-to-face with people, at least for those first 3-4 months of doing what you're doing. If you want to move to more of a remote thing, beyond that, this isn't for you. And so, I would say that we're looking for people who are entrepreneurial, who believe in themselves, who can follow a process, who want input from others, and who love helping people, that you're people motivated. And that's kind of the place of where we're at. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to ask you guys all to do something. If you're interested, and I haven't scared you away yet. Oh, we have a question here. Cool. I'll answer that question. If you're interested at this point, let's see, training. Oh, I'm so glad yeah. Okay, so training Monday through Friday. No, not every day. No, it's only Monday through Friday. So there is stuff available on the weekends. We're not going to require you to do that. But we do ask. There's a training we require. And then there's a check-in. So you'll be checking in with me or with your leader every day until you're out there selling. Our goal is that within 2.5 months, you're able to sell enough to where you're depositing in the bank at least $20,000 per month. So that's the goal. If we don't feel like we can get you there, we probably won't work together, right? So that's the goal. If you're still leaning forward, at this point, or you're open-minded, or you have questions, you can ask questions now. So I'm gonna give a pause for that in a second. But each of you guys should have received something that says part 2 of the interview. So if you can go and check your text messages real quick. This is how this continues. Okay. And if you didn't, I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste that into the chat. And and you can when we conclude here, I'm going to invite you into that. That's a place for you to ask any questions you want. It's a place for you to answer a few questions. So I have 5 video questions. I'm going to ask you to answer all 5 video questions. If I don't see an answer, then that means we're not talking, right? If something isn't working right for you, call me, text me, whatever, let me know. But that's how we know what your interest level is. That's how we get to hear a little bit from you. And if it makes sense beyond that, what I'll do is I'll reach out to you by Thursday, and we'll talk about steps moving forward, or one-on-one conversations. But again, that's only if you feel like this is something that you could absolutely press into and be excited about. So we didn't try to sugarcoat anything. We're not trying to sell anyone into to what it is. We just really wanted to present the opportunity as we see it. So any questions before we go?
What's a typical weekly schedule look like for a full-time agent?
Great question. Yeah, I meant to actually answer that earlier. That's a great pickup. So what we typically do is, we have 2 dial days and 4 what we call run days. And you don't have to ascribe to the exact dial days that we do later on, but we find that it works well. And the schedule of a top producer is this. So we dial on Mondays and Thursdays, and on Monday, we get our leads. and we go through them. We like to have people do it together on a Zoom call so that we're accountable. We're listening to others if we need to, but we're going through. And the goal is to set 20 appointments for Tuesday and Wednesday. Okay, so if you set 20 appointments for Tuesday and Wednesday, we know that you'll be pretty successful. You'll get at least should get a few sales from that. Okay, Tuesday and Wednesday, you're driving around, sitting down in front of the people that you talk to on the phone, helping them select and sign up for insurance products. And we're back in on Thursday. We're dialing for Friday and Saturday and doing the same thing. And other than that, it's pretty simple. I will say in the beginning, some mistakes some people make is they try to mix days of like, oh, I got 3 appointments. I'm going to dial in. I'm going to run appointments. And we really, we'll coach you on what to do, but that's not the best optimal thing to do. So great question. That was Scott. Yes, Veronica.
And for myself, that I don't have a license, how do you guys go through the process of obtaining a license?
Great question. So for those who aren't licensed, if we like you and you like us, and we all feel like it's like we want to dance together and push this thing together, what we do is if you feel like you can get phase 1 of this done within 2.5 weeks, we like to help you out with that. And so here's what it looks like for anyone in the whole wide world that wants to get an insurance license. You have to take a state mandated life insurance. It's a course with a test exam on it. It's mandated by every state. After you've done with that, so typically you pay for that, and then you schedule your test to take your state exam. You get you pass your state exam, then you have to get an FBI background check, and then get your license, apply for license, receive your license. And then finally, you get something called errors and omissions insurance. So all of that, if you probably figured out there's a cost associated with that. Cost is about $600 a personal, that you'll be investing into this, except for we take care of that first half. We take care of the first 300, which is on the front end. So if we like you and you like us, we will take care of your course with the practice course and exam and all of that stuff in the beginning. And then what you'll do is you'll still have to sign up for your state license exam, your prints, your license, and your E&O insurance. So your cost accrue will be around about $300 for that. And the goal is to get that done. If we can get that done in 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, then you're our kind of person. If it takes you longer than that, congratulations, you have a badge, but you're probably not someone that's on this. We're probably not on the same wavelength. If it takes longer than that, which is fine, but that's kind of where we're at.
Okay, thank you.
It's a good question. So if there's no more questions, and you're certainly free to answer that, I would ask you to jump immediately on and actually begin part 2 of the interview so that I can look at and review what you have there. Ryan and I will be discussing that a little bit later on today, and just kind of reviewing that. And if you have any issues, again, text me, let me know. Otherwise, it's been super cool meeting the group. It sounds like we got a lot of Florida people today, but for whatever reason, but it's certainly great to make your acquaintance. Good luck in the journey. And if it's with us, we'll definitely have some fun together, make some fun things happen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. See you.